I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I am happy to say that LiatrisKitty is here. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, y'all. I'm LiatrisKitty, pronouns she, they. I'm your cat girl VTubing simp that plays just about anything with dating and or lick of chaos.
Especially dating.
Oh yeah, especially dating. It's a busy season for dating for me right now.
You play Stardew Valley just to bring everybody up to 10 hearts.
Pretty much. I'm so bad with games like that. If there's like romance aspect, I like play hard until I get married, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Let me start a new save and romance someone else.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that they brought in early on the Stardew Valley was the divorce option, which is really, really funny if you don't, work. You do the workaround, because then that person hates you for the rest of the game.
I know, and I just can't do that to myself. I love watching people get divorced, but like for me to do it, I'm like, I'd rather just start from scratch.
Yeah,
I don't need the drama.
They used to be able to get everybody up to level 10 at once, which just really throws everything off. Like at one point,
it's so weird.
Yeah, it's you can marry anybody at any point. If you play that, who do you usually marry?
For Stardew, I really like Haley. I know that's a controversial take for a lot of people, but she's been my favorite so far.
Well, it's not controversial. I mean, she's
a bit mean.
She comes
but I
around.
Adore her.
She comes around. I always end up Maru, because
Maru is a cutie.
Maru gives you bombs.
That is also true.
Yes. If your partner wakes up every morning and gives you a bomb, you probably got a good one.
You know what? Yeah, especially if you go into the mines a lot. Super helpful.
Yes, or you just really hate Pam. Put a bomb right in front of her. She's laying in her trailer. Now, when I first started playing it, you could put trees in people's houses. So, like, her trailer always had a lot of trees in it. I just made sure that she couldn't go anywhere.
People are so creative. I'm not that creative with things like that. I'm just like, I'm just going to internalize my anger and then just go about my day.
Nope, they're going to suffer just like they do on The Sims. Where everybody's going to go down on The Sims by the time I'm done. So when did you get started with content creating?
About a little over 2 years ago, like January 2024. I thought about it for a while just because I'm not as much anymore. You cannot tell, but I used to be very, very introverted. Mm-hmm. And I have this irrational fear of like just dying alone because I'm too scared to do anything or talk to anyone. So a friend encouraged me and I was like, why not? It's like a safe bet. I don't have to meet up with anyone in person. I can be home. Yeah. My 2 cats get to yell at me while I do this. And it's been a lot of fun. I don't have any regrets and I hope to do it for a long time.
That's great that people get a chance to kind of spread their wings. And yeah, you get a chance to somebody will say they get a chance to be themselves without being themselves.
100%. And yeah, I would never have called myself a yapper, and now I legit can't shut up. So it's amazing what it did for me.
Has it carried over into your non-stream life?
I would say so. Yeah, I'm definitely more sociable. I still like struggle sometimes because of my ADHD and like anxiety disorder, but like for the most part, I can overcome it, especially if the other person talks first. That's like the green light in my brain. I'm like, I can talk as much as I want now. Yeah. They spoke to me first. But I do a better job of like reaching out to people and starting own conversations. It's not always perfect, but it's definitely a huge difference.
People can adapt to so many things, and and you wouldn't. And I say that, and people are like, oh yeah, you're no. People can adapt. You find people who are living in one room of their house because they just ended up being that way, and they or people you see people who were walking with a limp and they don't even realize it because they just kind of adapted to it. Um, but when you get something that starts to change your life for the better like this, it it does make a big difference to you. And it's good for you that you're able to open up a little bit more. Is it the anxiety disorder that causes some problems with you as far as interacting with people off the computer?
I would say so a lot of the time. I am always a very anxious person, and so I always think like, am I talking too much? Am I talking too little? Like I try and read micro expressions, and
Mm.
like without having that, it's kind of like almost more freeing in a way that I'm not studying a person's entire being. I just have chat.
Yeah.
Um, I may misread a tone here or there, but luckily I've built a community that's very understanding that text is weird and tones may not transfer. And I think I built a really good community where we can, have fun with each other and be a bit more candid.
The less input, the better.
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially, yeah. I don't have visuals. I just have. I don't even have sound. I just have written word,
Yeah.
and it's a lot less to overanalyze.
Well, that's pretty true. And so, were you watching VTubers before you started?
I'm gonna be real with you. I had no clue what a VTuber was when I first started. I actually started as face cam, and
Yeah.
then I was like, "Oh, these are cool," but I can't draw. And then I was like, "I have no money." And then I was like, "Oh, wait, there's these lovely people that have free models, and let me try it out, see if I like it." And then eventually, it recently became a trend to have those customizable models you pay for.
Hmm.
So I got one of those just last year for my birthday subathon. So I've slowly been building. One day though, I'd like to commission a custom model.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't know anything about VTubers before, and you did you kind of stumble upon them as you were doing your face cam thing, or?
Yeah, you're gonna think this is even funnier. I didn't even really touch Twitch at all. I
Oh,
was never a Twitch watcher. I never watched other streamers. It seems like very 0 to 180 looking back. I was like, yeah, kind of just dove into the deep end for fun.
yeah.
And as I started meeting other streamers, I started stumbling upon VTubers and PNG tubers, and I've become really great friends with a few of them. And it was just like, you know, I always do a lot of masking in public. Having a VTuber would help me unmask a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was a very natural transition for me.
And that's something to say out of context. Is that I being a VTuber helps me unmask when kind of the whole thing is you've got a model that you're hiding behind.
I know.
But it, it
It's like,
it makes sense though with you put everything else in context because it drops a couple of walls that you can now fully express yourself through.
exactly. Plus, so for also added context, I have really bad RBF. So if I catch myself very intense in a game, I just look angry. And so having the VTuber model helps combat that. Cause like part of my masking is I have like a small smile that doesn't look like a smile to anyone else, but I feel the corners of my mouth up and it neutralizes the RBF. So like I don't have to do that with my model. I can just have my face muscles be normal.
Yeah. Yeah, you have one of those smiles that looks like, you're about ready to call down the fires of hell or something.
Pretty much. It's either like I look mad or I got the Mona Lisa smile. I like it's very rare to see like a super animated from me. Like that's a lot of effort.
it
It's a
only
lot of exercise.
it only takes two muscles to smile. Yeah, but I only want to use one.
Pretty much.
And it takes me even less to just punch in the face.
For real. So I'm like, a model's just easier. I can have my RBF in peace. No one will ever know unless they hear your interview. And now my chat's gonna be like, does she have RBF on right
That's
now?
right. Does she really like us or not? Nah, don't worry about that. Just keep watching.
Pretty much. Like, don't worry about it. No one's behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's right. No, don't look. Now, given that, and given your social anxiety before doing this, how did you feel when people started coming back to your stream, knowing that they were coming back for you and your personality?
Honestly honored because I didn't stream for followers. I still don't. I stream almost as like a social experiment for myself, like pushing myself. I like
Mm-hmm.
to challenge myself. And so when people resonated with that and want to stick with me, like I have, follower chatter that's been with me since the dawn of time. I like to joke that it's like pre them and post them if they like for the small moment before they joined.
Yeah.
It's like a little inside joke and it's wild to me. I know that seems common to say, but I really didn't do it for that, and I just built such a lovely community. I have so much fun. Honestly don't know how I did it, and I'm super proud.
Well, I mean, you did it because you stuck your neck out and jumped in. Yeah, that's how you did it.
That is true.
It's you could have very easily just not done it, or avoided it completely, or dipped your toe in and ran away. Yeah, that's you stuck with it. That says a lot about your character, actually.
Thank you.
That you stuck to that. I would have run very far away before I started doing that sort of thing. Now, I was in radio for a long, long, long time, and I kind of compare it a little bit to VTubing because there were a lot of us. I wasn't one of them, but there were a lot of people who, on the radio back in those days, would assume different personalities, different
Mm.
names, changing their name to go on the radio, and people didn't see their faces. Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
and
true.
and people would come back because of their personality. And there was you could hear the same song on three or four different stations, but you came back for the personality person playing the song. You could see somebody play Minecraft on about 1,000 different places at once. You come back for the person that has the best personality for it. So there's some parallels there, I think. Even though
Oh,
there's
100%.
like a half a century in between almost, but it there you guys have to rely so much on your vocal talent and your personality to keep everybody involved. Are you Were you ever able to use that instrument of yours before on stage or anything like that, singing anything along those lines?
So ironically, I can't sing.
Mm.
I cannot do tones. I can't voice act. I have no talent for it. I do my natural voice. And biggest compliment I ever got for someone about my voice is that I would be perfect for instructional videos. The monotone,
Yes.
robotic, almost voice videos. And I was like, I don't think that's a compliment you think it is, but thanks.
Those old film strips that I used to hear as a kid. And the pilgrims planted corn. Beep. Next thing, kids today's don't have film strips. They were the ways we learned back in the day. Okay,
Mhm.
that it that type of voice, or the person who says, "Please roll your window up while you're going through the bare area," that type of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I have a good, apparently, like elevator voice for instructions, the overhead emergency voice. I don't know. It's fine. I mean, hey, I'll take it.
Well, actually, the truth is, it's a very good voice, and it's it's so natural is the biggest thing.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like you don't have to put any effort in projecting, which a lot of people do. I don't know. Have you ever heard somebody who has a voice that sounds like they're almost inhaling when they talk?
Oh, 100%.
And that's just freaky to me. Like, how are you even transmitting your voice? But it does take a while for somebody to do that, and sometimes they have to go through a whole lot of um, training to be able to do that normally. But have you always been able to express yourself like that?
Pretty much. My dad's a very loud anime talker. I'm also Italian. That also very much helps. So, like, I
Hmm.
grew up in a family of loud talkers, and so to be heard, you also got to project. And I have a big family, so it's just genetics, I think, at that point.
It's funny because a couple of interviews ago, I talked to another person who said the exact same thing. I grew up in an Italian family, and like, okay, there you go.
How it
But
rolls.
yeah, well, that's the way families work. You have to make yourself heard if there's more people in the family. That's all there is to it. Uh, so now that you're in and you got started, and I imagine you didn't really have any goals when you started, but now that you're well into it, has your outlook on VTubers changed and VTubing changed?
I wouldn't say outlook on VTubing as a whole has changed, but I do think I now have more streaming oriented goals, VTubing goals,
Mm,
because I was very aimless with my channel and I still kind of am. I'm slowly building an identity. Like I didn't call myself the VTubing simp. I didn't label myself as feral in the beginning. So I'm slowly building my brand and I've been thinking a lot lately about how I want to grow as a streamer,
mm,
how I want to be, if I want to take my community anywhere. A lot of my assets and stuff is free, which is really good. But I'm like, you know what? I really want to support more artists. I want more art in my thing. I want to be like, this overlay doesn't fully match my personality and potential. I really want to show myself in more ways because first impressions matter. And
mm,
so um, I think eventually I hope to actually like put more focus in who I am because I don't do a persona. This is straight up me
hmm.
with just a VTuber face.
Right.
So I think I just want to just focus on who I am more as a streamer instead of just casually logging on each day and be like, oh, whatever. I
Yeah.
like to actually be like intentional with my streams.
Yeah. Yeah. A little more planning and a little more. Let's see. What would the right word? Strategy.
Yeah, be more strategic. Like I just recently joined the Wear Your Stripes stream team, which is for content creators who have chronic illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to use my voice to advocate a bit more, be more uplifting, instead of just being vibes, I like to be more proactive with who I am and, you know, be there for other people like me.
It's something that 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 exists. And the folks that I talk to that are really open about their chronic illnesses seem to be some of the strongest people I talk to.
Yeah. I think everyone has a lot more to bring to the table than they think they do.
Yeah,
And when you're fighting something all the time, it just comes naturally almost.
yeah, and that's something that it is very tough to empathize with if we're lucky enough to not have something along those lines. But it also is very easy to misconstrue it as well because having a chronic illness doesn't necessarily mean that you know you just can't do anything. I mean, you've got a chance to entertain people, entertain yourself, meet people, explore, maybe even make a little money if you do well at it. It's a it's uh, a very I growl because I'm trying to find the right word. Um, Enabling situation. Maybe that's the best way to put it for
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
folks. Um,
I think the issue is like a lot of people think, oh, it's like a one size fit all, one symptoms fit all. Like, and I think it doesn't help that we talk about things in like spoons
mm,
personally. Like when you say low spoons, like that's different for everyone. Everyone has a different threshold.
right.
And I think people like to be like, well, mine is worse, so it can't be that bad for you. But I'm like, but we're all human and it all affects us differently. We all
Yeah.
need different levels of sleep, different diets. I think a lot of people are just quick to dismiss
Oh,
instead of empathize.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. Or, and this happens, but between my wife and I a lot. I, I'll pull the curtain back because we're both now. I mean, Misty's in her 50s. I'm 60, so we there's something every day that hurts at this point.
Oh,
And one will be
I'm
like,
sure.
"Oh, my knee's bad today." I go, "You know what? Both my knees are bad today." We try to one up each other with how badly it is. That's not empathizing. That's just competition. Um, and sometimes it brings forth a better understanding of the issues they're going through, but it also allows people to understand that no matter the circumstances that is happening, that everybody's human beings underneath the whole thing. You know, there's dreams and talents and abilities and personality there. You just can't write a person off because they have something.
Exactly. Like we all thrive through community. I wouldn't be where I am with just the people in my actual life. I wouldn't have streamed if it weren't for my best friend, you know?
Yeah.
It was a low energy thing. One of the things I deal with on a daily basis is arthritis in my back.
Mm,
Almost 28 and I already have arthritis. And
yeah.
like it's tough to deal with some days, and like just to be able to be publicly talking about it, it's what connected me. Honestly, my chronic illness helped me network more than anything else,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, you also deal with that, let's talk about our shared experiences. And it I know people who started going to the doctor, for symptoms they started having, like it's I think it's something that we should talk about more.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of us who take a lot of ibuprofen.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, keep that
especially
in business.
Yeah, especially when you're this age. I'm I'm uh, I'm lucky enough to have three different types of arthritis at this point. Um, that's
Joy.
yeah, yeah, lots of joy. Actually, 10 years ago, I wasn't walking, which um, was psoriatic arthritis. Thank you very much. That's something that I don't wish on anybody. Hurts a lot, but there's treatment for it, and again, it didn't diminish me as a person. It made me harder to talk to because I growl a lot. But it that doesn't. We're getting to now know you know as people more about what makes other people tick and their personalities and their talents, and we're getting the benefit of it too. Not just folks who can't get out as much as they would like. There's a lot of win-win to this.
Oh yeah. And I think, social media has its, pros and cons. I definitely think it led us down a dark rabbit hole in some cases, but I think
Hmm.
in the fact of like the online world, it does connect you with, because like healthcare is difficult. And
Hmm.
so like just being able to share experiences and like just encouragement and space that you may not even get in your own like IRL community, I
Right.
think is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And when you realize too, if you got to tell me when you realize this, that your audience is potentially 95% of the world, and the people that are on could be on the other side of the planet. Has that ever hit you yet?
It does. I surprisingly don't have a lot of followers in my time zone. I have a good amount of people in Europe and on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast of the United States. And like, it's wild to me because I'm like, first of all, just to make it on this other side of the country is a big deal. To make it on a different continent,
Yeah.
absolutely wild to me. Yeah, it the first time I got a chatter from like Germany, I was like, "What are you doing here? I think you're in the wrong stream. Are you do you need a recommendation?"
Excuse me, but this is a Wendy's.
Right? Like also, how are you awake right now? Because
Yeah.
I know what time it is.
Oh
Are
yeah.
you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing here. The one thing, one thing that's going to get in everybody's way here is time zones.
Oh, yeah, especially because where I live, we don't do daylight savings.
Oh, so
So
that really messes everything up. Oh my
it
gosh.
does. And right now I'm in the time zone I hate the most. So I'm just like, I need it to be November already so I can get back into the better time zone.
Yeah, we need to get. We're in the Midwest. We need to get in November so we can have spring again.
True.
We
True
had
that.
we just had 80 degrees and severe weather yesterday. Tonight we're getting frost. I don't understand.
I know. It's so weird. I'm in the desert
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be our winter right now, but we hit like 100-degree weather a couple weeks ago and I was just like, I feel robbed.
Where is my winter?
Yeah, I was like, where is my nice, cool 70 weather, sometimes in the 60s?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is it?
Oh, I mean, when I was growing up here in the Midwest, I mean, we had winter. We had winter. I mean, it was winter. We had one winter where we would, folks who don't know how it went back then, we would have a Christmas break in school where we'd go like December 23rd to like January 11th or something like that. We had a 4-foot snow that took us out from December 10th to like January 20th. It
Wow.
was wonderful for the kids because we got to play in snow for over a month. Um, wasn't so great for the parents because it drove them nuts. And
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't enjoy that
you know,
personally.
it was fun. It didn't, nobody got really hurt. It was a, and we didn't like lose power or anything. We just got a lot of snow. Um, but nobody wanted to plow it. I don't blame them. And we had fun with it, and we enjoyed it. Nowadays, we get ice, which I will park my car inside your house rather than step on one little bit of ice. Um, Ice is bad to slide on.
It it is. I used to live on the East Coast. All my family's there,
Mm.
and my dad's house is on a very steep hill, and so the driveway's very steep. So it just turns to straight ice. And I used to, when I still lived with him in college, I would try to go to work. And I'd have to emergency brake down, and I'd go down almost sideways or like on like a diagonal. And we were right off a highway too. So I'm trying to not slip and slide into the highway. So when people are like, "You don't get it," I'm like, "No, I do. I don't know how I'm alive. Honestly, that was a miracle. Those whole winters."
We went down to northern Georgia, and they happened to have an ice storm, and they had no idea what to do. And I mean, we knew how to drive on it for the most part. I mean, we live it, being in Illinois, but we would drive around, and there's mountains, of course, in North Georgia, and there would be trucks lying on their side because they slid up something and just rolled over. There were people who had to climb their driveways because there was up a mountain and they couldn't drive it.
I believe it.
There were people who had to climb out of their driveways because it was up to get to the road because they couldn't drive up to it. It was something to see. And then
Oh yeah, can't make that stuff up.
it's like, yeah, it's your own fault for doing that, But and there was one part we got to went to stop and pick up some supplies, and there was this ice patch on a fairly large strip mall, and two guys were out in their trucks just spinning and spinning and spinning on those things,
Oh no.
and everybody was watching like, yeah, keep going. Like, well, I guess that's ice skating in a way.
Yeah,
Let them go. They're having fun.
add it to the Olympics.
That's right. Don't give them any ideas. We've already got spitball throwing in the Olympics, so you can't get any more than that. It's pretty sad. Um, we've run way past talking about your VTubing stuff.
Can't have it. I mean, for me, it's normal par for the course with my ADHD. I'll be talking about one thing and then on to 5 different topics an hour later, and then I'd be like, "Wait a minute,
See,
what were we originally talking about?" I don't think I finished that story.
I don't think I don't think I have ADHD. I have ADHDF, which I'll follow somebody.
Fair enough. If we're off topic, it's probably my fault, and that's okay.
That's fine. I go with the flow. Well, now that you're in it and you've done it for a while, what do you think is the part of VTubing that you are enjoying the most?
Um, Oof, that's a good one. I think just doing all the fun, playful things with my model. Like I recently got because a game we were recently playing called Artificial Nexus, really good visual sci-fi novel.
Mm.
It's it's a mystery, and so I'm can be a bit of a conspiracy theorist. So I was like, I need a tinfoil hat. And so I got one. And so that will now be a new permanent feature. I just love playing around, doing different outfits, things I wouldn't normally wear in real life, and like being cutesy and just getting to play the playful part of myself a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying my tinfoil hat. Pry that from my dead cold VTuber hands, but I just like the fun stuff of that.
Well, if you're wearing the tinfoil hat, then your account can't get hacked. It
Exactly.
it
The waves can't reach me.
That's right. They can't get to the chat though because they don't have their hats on. That's their fault. That's not your fault. It's part of the game.
Exactly.
The I enjoy when folks are enjoying themselves. Is what I really like, and it's very obvious that this has become a important part of what you're doing. How much of your life is it right now to be on as a VTuber?
I would almost say it's a part-time job. I stream 3 days a week for average of 3 to 4 hours.
Mhm.
And then I'm also I'm not good at it. That's also a New Year's resolution that I've not been upholding this year, but I do video editing. I try to a lot of downloading,
Mhm.
things like that. And also a lot of it is networking.
Yeah.
I'm preparing for a Otome Game Celebration on Steam for visual
Ooh,
novels. So I've been
nice.
coordinating with game developers for the past month and a half to celebrate the celebration with them. And
Mm.
so like I would treat it almost like a second job on top of my full-time job.
You are marketing.
I'm trying. I'm hustling. I told you I like to challenge myself. Like, can I
Yeah.
do this? Can I
Yeah.
what would happen if I just talk to that
Yeah.
person?
Well, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? And that's one of the things that doing all these interviews over the years is that you're not going to know unless you ask. I mean, there's a lot of people I got a chance to do interviews with in radio that other people wouldn't have asked because they'll say no. You're not going to know unless you try it. And I had some fairly big names come on, and when we had half-hour talks, and it was really good. And people were like, "How'd you do that?" Oh, I asked them. Uh,
Exactly. Sometimes, and here's the thing: is no really the worst thing? I could be worse.
yeah,
I almost would take a no.
yeah. Hello, folks. If you knew how many people did not respond at all to me sending out DMs or emails or whatever, especially emails. Nobody answers emails. um, you would be amazed at the percentages, even with as many interviews as I've been able to do, because people have other things to do, and it's not their fault. I mean, some people just don't want to do it. That's fine. It is nice when somebody says it's not really my thing and replies to you. That's nice. I don't get mad because at least they responded, but they have other things to do. But if you ask, you're never going to know. If you don't ask, you miss out on a lot of things. Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I had to learn that as a student in high school. I wouldn't ask any questions until I got to realize that I wasn't going to make the top 25% of my class, and I was like, I need to do that. So I started becoming a student and getting my curiosity back and learning how to and who to ask questions. And then I got up, where I needed to grade wise and became a better student after that. But also a person who is interested enough to ask questions that make sense for the most part. Um, a lot of people don't do that these days. And
Oh,
you watch it on television, you just want to scream.
mm, yeah, I've learned to ask with intent. Like don't be very vague with the question. Be like, hey, this is who I am. Especially if you're asking to collab. Hey, I see you stream on XYZ days
Mhm.
at this time. I stream around that time. How do you say about doing something along those lines in the next month or so? And like the more specific you get, the easier it is to open dialogue, I feel like.
Oh yeah, and maybe it's not going to work then, but maybe it'll work later, and
Exactly.
leave it open on your end. Um, you never know when somebody. I've had people who a year ago I asked and they said, no, I don't think so. And then a year later, are you still doing those interviews? I'd like to do one now. Sure, let's do it. You know, don't shut your doors. Um, leave them unlocked so I can get in and steal your stuff. Now, an ability. Leave a good taste. Don't leave the bridge burning because you never know when they want to come across. Um,
Exactly.
and to your side. Um, what have you? What have you learned about yourself since you started VTubing that you didn't realize that you had the ability to do?
Ooh, asking tough questions. I know. I'm sorry. A long pause here. I'm like trying to think.
I'm grinning. I
um,
said, I got him. I got him.
um, you know what? I think really so. I grew up always being like the nice girl kind. That was the first thing anyone ever said to me. And I'm not saying I wasn't, but I do think VTubing also allowed me to be even more open-minded than even college and stuff. So it allowed me to really not only be more empathetic, but also how to actually utilize that to be helpful.
Yeah.
Like it definitely pushed my active listening skills to the limit and my ADHD because you're trying to not die in a video game, but
Yes.
also someone's like having a serious conversation with you. So I think it really like showed how to walk that balance of being entertaining, but also being real
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to kind of sacrifice 100%ing something in order to talk to somebody else on the
Exactly. And
screen.
like at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's
Yeah.
just a crochet piece, it's just whatever you're doing. And the people that are there in your chat are the real ones.
I want to ask you about that because it comes up in your Discord about crocheting. My wife does it. There's no possible way I can do it with hand problems and the fact that I'm cross-handed and do things with both hands badly. The when did you get started with that, and are you an expert in your opinion now?
Yeah. So like everyone else, I got a new hobby during COVID.
Hmm.
Well, during the lockdown to be more precise. And I was really bad at first, like really, really bad.
Hmm.
I stopped it for like a few months and then I was like, well, I can't. It hurts too much to have another ADHD craft that I spent money on go to waste. So I was like, let me try again. And somehow the second time it clicked. Um, but I used to try and do a dishcloth and I made a weird triangle instead. But now I can do straight stitches. I can make perfect squares and spheres. I'm really good at stuffed animals. I'm still iffy on clothing because I have inconsistent tension with yarn, but I
Uh,
make really good plushies. I would say I used to actually sell them at farmers markets.
wow.
But then I got bored making the same kind of stuff and I was like, friends and family only.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the tough thing is when you actually do get good enough at one of those creative hobbies that people will order things from you and like, could you do this for this and agree to this for this not, and suddenly it's not your vision anymore, it's theirs, and it
Oh
becomes a
yeah.
job.
And it's you got to follow trends. And I remember crochet bees were very trendy. And I made a bee and then I was like, great, I don't need to make this again. So I just couldn't. I was like, building up an inventory was the worst. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I gotta make 4 rabbits and a bee and a cockroach. I'll work on the cockroach.
Exactly. I was just like, I'd rather just make what I want to make, give out any extras because I obviously don't need 100 plushies. I
Yeah.
know I have 9 nieces and nephews. A lot of them are still young. I can just gift them some
Oh,
plushies whenever I go visit home, just stuff them in my suitcase and be like, I
walk
don't
in the
need
door,
these.
throw it at their heads. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're not gonna hurt them. Bonk off the top of their heads. Yeah, my wife does crochet work, and we've got drawers full of yarn, um, and she gets in and out of it. So she'll do a bunch of it, and then she'll be done for a couple of months, and then she'll be back into it again. And we just try to keep the stocks open for when she comes back around to it. Um, but that is again another way to be creative. Uh, did you have all this creativity kind of bubbling in you as you were a kid?
I would say so a bit. I was a huge reader as a
Hmm.
kid. I actually had a WordPress blog. I know I haven't heard the word WordPress in forever, but
Jeez.
I used to have one and I actually would have authors send me books because I'd write reviews. So I used to do a lot of creative writing. I used to write fan fiction. I don't really write as much anymore because prefer kind of doing something with my hands nowadays, but I
Yeah.
would say like in like little bits and pockets there, just trying to with my ADHD fumbling along to different crafts when they piqued my fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of tough with that to stick with something for a very long time.
It is difficult, I will say. Like I even crochet like your wife, it kind of is in pockets. I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is so fun. I made 20 plushies," and then I don't touch it for 6 months.
Well, see, for if it, that would be the time when everybody notices and wants you to do more. Well, I don't want to do it now. That's what
I know. I was like, will it take me 5 minutes?
yeah.
Because if it's gonna take me more than that, no, thank you.
They come up with like, I would like you to crochet the Mona Lisa. No.
I mean, it's possible, but no
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah,
That's too much work.
yeah. And then, of course, like 2 months later, you're like, oh, I could probably do that.
Recently I was out of a slump and I crocheted. So Build-A-Bear got those animal cracker plushies, but I didn't want to spend $40, and I
Right.
have a whole yarn wall. So I was like, I can make it myself. I instantly regretted it once I started hand sewing on the sprinkles. I was
Yeah.
like, why did I do this to myself? I should have just paid the $40 and I would
Yes.
have gotten experience to stuff it myself at Build-A-Bear.
You're 3/4 of the way through it, and like, no.
And yeah, by that point, I was like, I gotta finish it. And I will say it's the cutest thing I've ever made.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I made it. I will never do that again. No, thank you. That was so much work.
I have tasted wasabi peanuts. They were fine. I'm not doing it again. And it was an experience that I have had and will not repeat. Thank you very much.
Yes. Result, beautiful. Process, not so much. This was not a journey I want to stay on.
Oh, my crazy uncle, and everybody has one. My crazy uncle once made a bet that he could swim across this lake. He was going to get $5, which back in the 50s was money. And he went 3/4 of the way, got tired, and swam back. So he actually swam more than he would have if he just kept going.
Yeah, that's not the critical thinking right there.
No, he never had that. He got older, and that never did come in to play. Um, would you like to do? Do you do the crocheting while you're on the stream?
Every once in a while I do. I got a hand camera. Once in a while I'll do some Legos. I actually haven't done a crochet stream in a while, and I probably should because it is a lot of fun and it's very relaxing.
Yeah, you can keep up with the chat for the most part, and yeah,
Exactly. And I can still do my VTuber, which is great. Getting
Yeah.
that second camera, it was
Yeah.
so nice.
Oh, and as long as they don't distract you and you suddenly put 13 stitches where you needed 12 or something.
Well, my problem is so with plushies, you really need to be good at counting. I am not because of my ADHD. I'll be counting internally and be like, wait, was that 5? Wait, how many stitches? And then depending on the yarn, you can't really see. So I'm counting and I'm like, wait, that was 6. Wait, let me count again. No, I count 7 now. What happened? So I've learned to just go in patterns. So like if I'm doing like a single crochet, then a double, I know I should end on a double.
Yeah.
But like if I start on this, I know I should end on that. And then I just pray. And then I count at a certain point. I'm like, oh, it's a little off. I'll just hide it. I know how to hide it now.
And then I pray. And then we do this.
Pretty much. I'm just like, it's a miracle half my plushies are there, honestly.
Well, they're done with love and personal care is what they're done with. They all have their own unique personalities and traits.
Exactly.
A little extra here, a little short there, but it's perfectly fine in the end.
100%. Non-crocheters would never know. I will say that. I'm good at hiding the mistakes, but if a crocheter were to look at it, they'd be like, you miss a stitch in row 23, stitch 8. And I'd be like, okay.
And then you stick
thanks.
the needle right between their eyes. And then we're done. Well, the thing is, everybody's going to know it's not AI generated.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Win. I'll take the win.
Yes, that's definitely a win these days. That sort of thing. So, collaborations. Have you been able to do too many of those?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I'm actually in the middle of a very elongated collaboration with Nyx Vale. They are a really cool vampire VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I love them, and if you haven't spoken with them about an interview, you absolutely should.
Yes.
Um, we did a Grim Dawn collab, finished it hella early, and then we're like, how about Baldur's Gate 3? So we're actually in the middle of a Baldur's Gate 3 collab we do every Thursday.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. When you get somebody who you click with on something like that, and you're able to keep it going, that's rare to find.
It is, and I enjoy them so much. We actually met through Wear Your Stripes, so they're another chronically ill content creator, and
Yeah.
there's an awesome human being.
Well, this is a chance in VTubing for people to not just present themselves the way they want to be seen, but it's also a chance to level the playing field for everybody. I wouldn't know if I didn't know the backstory of Iron Mouse, and I just saw her on the stream. I wouldn't know what's going on with her. I wouldn't, unless it came up in her conversation. There's some folks I've talked to that have pots here recently. I wouldn't know it by talking to them or their talents and what they're doing, unless it comes up in a conversation. It equals everything out. Everybody gets to start at the same spot, and
It is very nice.
yeah, and the true the more of their essence comes out in what they are, and it makes for such a rich experience done correctly, I think. Maybe I'm overflowering it a little bit, but bear with me, I'm old.
No, I'm with you. I think we have the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and I don't think necessarily people in the forefront of minds have those judgments. It's very internalized, especially with society. A lot of people think disabilities are only visible, not invisible,
Right.
and a lot of people just don't know what it's like, what it is, and so you have that internalized thought that you don't even recognize, and then that kind of clouds your judgment moving forward. And I think VTubing takes that out of the way because you don't see it, so you get to just see the person for who they are.
Yeah. And we as a consumer get to gobble it all up. We've got a bigger menu because of it, and it's just wonderful. And there's always going to be people who are going to throw mud in your Cheerios, but that's because they're insane and you can't do much with them. You just have to keep going and realize where they're coming from. You haven't had that happen to you, have you?
So far, I've been very fortunate to not really have any trolls or anything like that. In the beginning, I actually had a lot. Thank God for my IRL bestie and mod Sea Critters. I've had some weird trolls, but since the rise of Seribot, and I think Twitch did the auto shield, and I also use stream elements, I have 5 different layers of stuff now, and so a lot of people tend to get banned immediately, but it's fortunately have not had a lot of discourse directed my way. I've been very lucky.
Excellent. Yeah, I was a sports talk show host, so for a college football team that went 0-11, I have had just about every name thrown at me in the book because it was my fault the team lost every game on the post-game show.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, well, after a while, you're right, there's only so much skin they can take off after a while.
That is true.
And you just have to deal with it. But if you can enjoy yourself, which you're obviously doing, other people are enjoying what you're doing, and you're looking forward to continuing doing it. That's such a giant win. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And I can imagine there's a lot more to come for sure. Now that you've got things rolling in the right direction, and you
I'm finally putting energy into it, thought.
Yeah, okay, you know what you're doing.
Light on.
Yes, you know what you're doing now. Have you got any other live cam plans in the future? Hand cam plans?
Not at this time. I have thought about it because I know. So my cat Lua, she doesn't like it when I talk to my computer. She thinks I'm crazy. So she likes to join me, but no one can see her shenanigans. So they just hear me yell, not yell, but they just hear me chide her for, chewing on wires and stuff or knocking things over. And I'm like, she used to also sit on my shoulder like a parrot throughout stream.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it might be fun just to be like a Lua cam day. Watch me do it. And she doesn't show up. She's like, I'm going to take a nap in the bedroom.
Yes, that's what happened. Every once in a while I turn back and see a paw under the door of one of our 9 cats, flailing around, trying to get in. I'm like, no, stay out there. I know which one by the color of their paw. It's like, you're not going to come in here and eat all the equipment. Thank you very much. You stay out there. And one of our indoor guys likes to sit on my wife's shoulder and give her kisses all night.
Aw.
Yeah, and he looks at me like, I've got your woman, and I'm like, you just keep her occupied while I'm doing my interviews.
I have the opposite problem with my other cat, Kai. He really likes men for no reason. So if a man ever enters my home, he immediately is giving them love and looks over me like, I'd go home with him in a heartbeat if they ask. And I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. They don't need you like I do. I pamper you so much.
You don't do enough, obviously. You get that Garfield voice, obviously. I can't do Lorenzo music, but so it looks like everything's bright for you as far as this goes, and I'm glad. I'm glad that you've got this opportunity and you're enjoying yourself, and more people are enjoying it. I just hope we can get you on again sometime because it's not long enough to talk with you because we could talk for a long time, I bet. A lot longer than this.
Oh, absolutely. I've been having a great time.
Me too. I really appreciate it. We're going to have all the links we can find in the description for the video. Check out what LiatrisKitty's got going on. You have a great rest of the evening, and please keep shining because we need more of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.